Hi, everybody. Welcome to Martial Arts Teachers TV. Should your students participate in tournaments? That's one of the questions I'll address on this show. We're also going to talk to some of the Cobra Defense founding members about their certification weekend that happened, this past weekend. And finally, I'm going to show you the number one mistake that martial arts school owners are making with their promotional videos. Everybody, I'm John Graden, and this is the show that helps martial artists like you to achieve success without selling out and have lots of fun along the way. I was raised in a tournament school. And I got this question just recently from one of our martial arts school owners' clients. And the question was, we're getting ready to start doing some tournaments, Mr. Graden. What do you think is a good strategy for approaching tournaments? And before I get into it, let me say that I was raised in a tournament-heavy school. In fact, one time when I was a green belt, I was sitting up in the bleachers at a karate tournament in Clearwater, Florida. My instructor walked by down the floor, Walt Bone. And he looked up and he saw me and he said, "Graden, how come you're not competing?" I said, I just wanted to watch. I was really shy. I was afraid. I didn't want to go out there and fight those guys. And I was about 15 rows up, and his response to me was in front of everybody there. So despite that, I did go on to have a very active tournament career. I never really trained hard, at least I thought, to become a world champion or anything like that. I was mainly kind of convincing myself that I was competing just to become a better instructor. But in time, those kind of values change. But let's get back to the question. All right, so you're running a school. You've got some good students, some good fighters, some good kata technicians, some good weapons, maybe some good self-defense. And you're thinking, well, let's go out and see what we have. Let's go to a tournament. And here is my advice. As soon as you have that thought, immediately say to yourself, I will never take my students to a tournament. I will never take my students to a tournament. I will never take my students to a tournament, because it is a huge mistake to start taking your students to tournaments and encouraging them to compete. Well, you say, they can get out and test themselves and all that kind of BS. The only tournaments that make sense are internal, intramural tournaments that you can control. The odds of a student going to a tournament with their family and having a good experience are next to nothing. Often the family gets there first thing in the morning, 9 o'clock, because they expect the thing to start on time. Martial arts are disciplined, right? And we know that most tournaments don't start on time. And in fact, the parents, the family, everybody can go from a place of heightened excitement to complete and utter boredom, and then anger and frustration as the day wears on and nothing is happening. Sometimes they get there at 9 and the kid doesn't compete until 5, and that's what the inevitable happens. A bad call or an injury. There's just a lot of bad things that can happen at a tournament. Often what happens is a student will get a bad call. They get upset. The parents get upset. So maybe going into the tournament, this was an A student, somebody who loved it so much that they wouldn't compete. They come out of it a C student, really turned off. They can also see black belts, the honored black belts that are supposed to look up to, using foul language, standing out front, smoking, out of shape, sloppy, bad attitudes about losing. It's almost like that Cobra Kai school from the original Karate Kid series. There's a lot of bad apples in the martial arts. And if you want to expose your students to that, you're taking a big risk. And of course, the student runs the risk of actually being hurt. And if a student gets hurt at a tournament and can't attend classes for 2 weeks at your school, the risk of them becoming a dropout significantly increases. So all that you get out of taking your students to a tournament or encouraging them to go is the guarantee that on Monday, when they come back to your school, you're going to get an earful of complaints about bad judging, about being ripped off, about it took so long, it was so expensive, the flooring was unsafe, all the litany of the things that you've heard so many times that you can imagine. You've heard, I made this decision. I got so sick of it. I'd get everybody excited to go to the U.S. Open or some tournament here in Florida, and I just knew Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, I was going to be the brunt of all the frustration they had. Because who else are they going to go to? They're going to come to you, and you have to sit through the story, the 8th one of the day, about how their son got ripped off, or they saw this or they saw that. Some parents were just really nuts about it. Some parents are really brutal about winning. Their kid has to win everything, and if it doesn't happen, the kid gets an earful, you get an earful, everybody gets an earful. It is a disaster. And so for all that stress, all the risks that you're taking with your students, your bread and butter, the income for your family is at risk. And here's the final reason. If all those other reasons didn't get you, this one will. Your students work hard to get their income. They have a limited martial arts budget. And for all that pain, you don't get a dime of it. It goes to someone else. So maybe they missed tuition that month because they spent money on a tournament. So tournaments, am I making myself clear? Do you kind of get how I feel about this? I mean, I'm coming from years and decades of experience working with this subject as a competitor, as a coach of students, taking students to these events, to finally the best thing we ever did was bring it all in-house. And in a future episode, I will show you how to run a successful intramural tournament that will have everybody smiling, and all the registration fees go to you rather than some other competitor. This past weekend was the inaugural certification for Cobra Defense. We had almost 20 founding members there. Here are some highlights and some comments from our attendees.
I just completed the Cobra instructor certification class, and start to finish, I have been blown away.
It's amazing. Although I just finished the Cobra certification this weekend, already we've enrolled enough students prior to our weekend to cover the entire tuition for the 3-year program of the Cobra certification.
What really piqued my interest as an owner was we spent several hours talking about how to make money. I didn't get on the plane to actually have someone teach me new martial arts techniques. I've been doing martial arts for a long period of time. I came down because I wanted to increase my bottom line by increasing my adult students. My adult students will increase with this program because I think it's perfect.
I thank Mata and John Graden for bringing Cobra Self-Defense to our school.
Just finished the MATA class, Cobra Self-Defense. It was a great class. I've never been in any other class that was so helpful, so informative, so eye-opening.
I've been exposed to all sorts of different martial arts, and I'm also a Marine Corps veteran. I've had a lot of training in all different areas of martial arts, combat, and defensive tactics. Let me tell you something about the Cobra Self-Defense program. Like I said, I've seen a lot of different things. This is by far one of the best out there.
I've been a school owner for a long time, and I don't know how, but it just seems John Graden just keeps rolling out these new programs, and he's really hit another home run with this one. The actual seminar itself much exceeded my expectations.
When I saw the first email on this, I jumped at it. When I got the email to sign up, I emailed off my cell phone right away, and I brought 2 of my senior students with me, and this has been an unbelievable weekend. I cannot wait to get back tomorrow to start putting this into effect.
The real life scenarios were life-changing. I know I'm going home knowing exactly what I want to work on. I mean, my scenario was at an ATM, and I froze up just like anyone else, and I've got a black belt. So just imagine what it's going to do for other students.
I have to tell you, John Graden has done it again. This is the greatest self-defense program I have seen yet.
I have been a MATA member, and John Graden contacted me about Cobra Self-Defense. It just brings to mind all of the great things I've gotten from MATA over the years.
Exactly what I was looking for. I've investigated a lot of the martial arts self-defense programs out there, but I haven't seen any of them that have structured it in this way.
What's great about Cobra Defense is how it integrates into the school to create more revenue and more adult students.
Conditions that we're in these days, considering to make the investment into Cobra was a difficult decision, but after coming here and doing the Cobra instructor certification course, the return on investment is phenomenal. It was the best decision I've ever made.
Chris Sutton's Cobra Defense program introduces techniques that are not new, but the delivery system is unlike any other I've ever seen.
Okay, I've been a modded member for a long period of time. John Graden is an icon in this industry, has rolled out lots of cutting-edge programs, and now together with Chris Sutton bringing us this Cobra Defense system, I think it's going to be a home run in the ballpark. This is awesome.
One of the things as a school owner that I loved about the program is it is designed not just to help your community and teach self-defense, but to add students to your school.
It is simple. Anyone can do it. And to be a Cobra instructor, I am highly honored.
Video is huge these days, but are martial arts school owners making the right choices with the videos they're posting on sites like YouTube and even on their own websites to promote their school? Here's the common mistake. Often we'll show videos of our testing, maybe some board breaking, maybe some exciting kata, some weapons. The danger there is that we may actually turn off our audience. We want to present a videotape that is very exciting, but extremely generic. It's benefit oriented. In other words, I'm not trying to prove how good my students are. I'm emphasizing the benefits that your child will obtain by training at our school, or an adult, or the whole family. So at martialartswebsites.com, we have custom videos that we make for schools that really nail this. They're 30 seconds long. They're right on the money. They can be 30 seconds, 60 seconds, or 120 seconds. It's up to you. But if you show a board breaking video and it's got low lighting and the audio is bad, that can really turn off the people that are visiting your site that may be interested in training at your school. So you want to be very smart about how you present your video, how you present your school via video, because video is becoming a monstrous marketing tool. YouTube is now the #2 search engine on the internet, and 70% of searches are for local services and businesses. So when people are trying to find a martial arts school locally, they're punching in martial arts. YouTube videos are coming up. If your video comes up and they click on it, you want to make sure it provides the best message possible. So here's an example of a martial arts website's video. Thanks very much for watching. I'll see you next week.
Are you wasting way too much time trudging through the garbage on the internet rather than quickly getting to what you need for your martial arts school to grow at least 20% each year? Cut through the clutter and get the tools to grow your martial arts school at martialartsschoolowners.com. The smart school owner demands immediate access to video drills and games, pre-designed ads and forms, proven sales and teaching scripts, and other professional tools of success. Since 1993, no person has helped more schools to grow than John Graden. He has the time-tested systems and long-term track record of integrity and value. For less than 82 cents a day, you can have what others pay hundreds of dollars a month for, and you can cancel anytime. Click Join Now and become a member of John Graden's Martial Arts Teachers Association at martialartsschoolowners.com.